Hello there, my friends. Welcome to my basement. You know what's awesome? When you're down in your basement and you're having a great day and you suddenly hear the sound of dripping water from above. And you know, it's funny because it was hitting this bag right here. And that's how I heard it. I heard this kind of rustling sound. And what was ironic about it was that I had an extension cord that was plugged into that shop vac over there. And I had it raised up on top of this bag to keep it off the ground in case for some reason there was water on the ground, which, you know, doesn't really happen, but I figured, well, what the heck? And what were the odds of that hitting right there, right where the cord was? So after I carefully, you know, I put on like insulated gloves, made sure I wasn't standing on my bare feet, and got rid of that cord, you know, and plugged that from the wall, made sure everything was cool with that. I looked up and saw this. Yes, dripping from above. So I put some catch basins down. So there's a pinhole leak in one of the pipes. This is where my pipes go from the basement to the upstairs, and you can see that we've run some PEX up there. The hot water pipe is still the copper pipe, and the PEX pipe is the cold. And it's the cold water that leaks. It's been my experience that cold water, something about the chemicals, sediments, whatever, they're in the cold water pipes, they tend to corrode the pipes faster than the hot water pipes. At least that's been what I've been told by people that I trust, who are plumbers. And I did have a plumber come and actually fix the leak in the wall upstairs about 4 or 6 months ago. But yeah, obviously there's another leak, so we're gonna fix that. You can see where I've actually run Pex Pipe down here before to just get rid of all those cold water pipes. But the ones in the walls, I figured, well, you know, I'll do that when it's time. Well, now it's time. So let me go upstairs and show you where we are so far. All right, so here's the story so far. here's the whole scenario so far, okay? So here's the deal. Here's the previous repair, right? This is the previous repair. You see that? That's where the plumber actually put his, you know, and did that. We ran PEX pipe up from the basement. So there was a leak, there was just a solid copper pipe all the way down, and there was a pinhole leak right about there. And so we cut it and above the leak, and he put that there. Actually, he did that. He also made this very nice sized square hole, which fits like a standard size door. Excuse my trying to show you everything at once. It's one of these spring-loaded doors that fits over top of it. So it's a removable panel, so we can have access to that. So instead of me drywalling over that, because we knew that something else might happen with this further up, we left that and just that opening, and we put this access panel over top of it, right? So, and it looks fine on the wall. But what I watched him do was he used an oscillating tool, very similar to this one, and he used that to cut through the drywall to explore where we needed to, you know, and he got it. Like, he got on like the second try, but I didn't. So I started up here near the top and looked in there, and let me see if I can show you with the flashlight. So I drilled up here, looked in and saw that the wall was not wet, because I figured, what if it's coming from up top, right? But then there would probably be wetness over here or in the hallway. But I just wanted to make sure, you know, it wasn't coming from somewhere at the very top. So we eliminated that possibility. So then I came down here I made a very short hole. And here's the deal, okay? When you're using tools to cut through walls, leaky, sparky, right? See? I actually made like an incision in that pipe. It didn't break all the way through the pipe, but that's the danger of using a tool like that to cut through. And, you know, but I was taking an educated guess based on where the pipes were previously and how thick this drywall was, because we had already made that cut. When you do that, you're taking a risk. Right? So just, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but I was fairly confident what I was doing. So then I took another educated guess and went about here, but I ran into like some lath, and you can see that the wall is wet there as well. So then I looked up here and it's dry. You can see it's dry. So here's where the actual pinhole leak was. It was here, and I've placed a piece of tape over that pinhole leak because the leak was shooting into the corner, and I wanted to make sure that maybe it directed away from the wood. I don't necessarily want a whole bunch of wet wood behind the wall. So by putting that extra strong duct tape on the leak, I know I'm not stopping the leak, but it's going straight down the copper pipe now for the most part. And that way it's not getting the whole interior of this wall wet, right? And the thing is, it's a pinhole leak, so even if you turn the water off, it takes a while for the water to stop coming out of that pinhole. And it's the tiniest little thing. It looks like a spider web. Like, it's the hardest thing to spot. So I was doing these exploratory holes to find the wetness, right? So then what I was thinking was I would get a rigid piece of Pex pipe to run down the walls. But it turns out that in a 1/2 inch diameter, they come in 5 foot lengths, and it looks like I need a little over 5 feet in length, right? So I had this leftover flexible Pex, and I ran it through the wall. I fished it down from the top down to the bottom. I tried fishing it up from the bottom. I got stuck right about here. And then, I don't know, something's in here that I could not get past. Coming down from the bottom, it took me several tries to get this fish through. As a result, what I would do in the future, I would take a cap and put it over the end of the Pex to make sure nothing got in there. Well, unfortunately, I didn't do that this time. So when I was pushing it up, it's possible that some debris got in there. So what I will do tomorrow when I make this fix, we're gonna wait until the hardware store's open. Tomorrow when I do this fix, so I'm gonna fish this Pex pipe through. I'm gonna cut a serious amount of length off of this pipe so that I can get to an uncontaminated part. At least that's my idea, because I do have quite a bit of Pex, and that's not a big deal for me. I'm not worried about expense. So, and like I just said, I'm not doing the repair tonight because there is one thing that I need. I need a shark bite fitting that I don't have, because I do have a shutoff valve fitting, which I'm going to use at the bottom. I intend to use at the bottom here. So I actually have a shutoff valve behind that access panel, which I think would be awesome to have in case I need it, because that way I could shut off the water to the second floor apartment, but still have water in the basement if I want to do laundry or something of that nature. So that's cool. The second thing is the fitting that I'm going to use up top, where I have the Pex running into the wall, doesn't have the shutoff valve. It's just this part. It's just the connector. So that's going to cost about $10, $9, something like that. So basically the plan tomorrow is use this Pac-Man looking device to cut the pipe there. I might have to make that hole a little bit bigger to get my hand in there so I can rotate around, because you really want a nice even cut and then somehow deburr it. I don't know if I'll be able to get this device in there. I might have to rock it back and forth. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to steel wool it and get the burrs off, because you don't want any burrs when you put the Pex in there, because you want a firm seal. You want to seal. And then, yeah, then they'll cut the Pex, And I'll cut it below the repair here. And then, yeah, and we should be done. And the pipe is gonna probably stay in the wall, the copper pipe. So that's the plan. I don't know, that's my plan. And then of course we're gonna have to repair the wall, but I'm not too worried about that. I'll show you guys how to do drywall patches in another video, because I'll be doing them, and I'll be redoing this wall too. And I'll show you how to make the wall look semi-normal. But Mom gets to pick up a new wall color, so that's cool, because this is in Mom's apartment. All right, if you got any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll make the next part of this video when I do the repair. I'm gonna widen this hole so I have room to get my hand in here. I'm gonna leave a patch here because I wanna do a drywall patch over top when I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and use oscillating tool in order to do that. But I'm gonna widen this so I can get my hand in there.
Yeah.
Right? So now I have plenty of room to get in there and grab that and move that pipe. So that's good. And then this, I'll just patch all that when we're done. Good. So here's the culprit right here. Water is spraying out here, but we put some tape on it so that the water would drip down the pipe instead of hitting the wood, which is more susceptible to rot and mold and all that stuff. So I'm gonna take this tape off. See if I can show you what a pinhole leak looks like. All right. How do you know what a pinhole leak in a pipe looks like behind your wall? Well, first you gotta cut out a section of the wall to find it, and then once you find it, that's what it looks like. Can you see that? Yeah. See, the camera's just focusing on it. You gotta get the light and the camera focus just right. But that line right there, going out that way, it's going out that way. That's it. That's what a pinhole leak looks like. So that's what we're gonna fix today by replacing this pipe. Step one on any home do-it-yourself water project, turn off the water, okay? I'm gonna turn this off the main valve. Now there's two water lines coming in this house. First floor, second floor. We're repairing the second floor unit, so you know, go ahead and turn this thing off. I'm gonna do it with my foot, but that's off. Okay. Go over to one of the sinks in the lowest part of the house, usually a basement if you have a basement. And those water lines hook up here. So what I'm going to do is turn on the cold water and let the cold water drain out. And in this case, just draining out into a hose right there, which I should probably put in my sink. It's always one thing or another, you know? All right. So. Drain the water until there's little or no water coming out.
So you don't want any water pressure. When you cut that pipe upstairs, you don't want a whole bunch of water gushing out. You'll get a little bit of water. You will get a little bit of water, but we'll take a towel with us. I'll take this one actually. This one's already a little bit wet. We'll take this one. Oh, pretty pink towel. And this will help us to sop up the water after we cut a pipe. All right, back upstairs. All right, so this is where the leak is. And you can see we turned off the water, so the pinhole leak is no longer spraying. So that's a good sign. It means the water pressure has been reduced in this pipe. So there shouldn't be much water left in the pipe since we turned on a faucet below this level, and gravity will take that water down. So there should be very minimal water in this pipe. But the pipe's leaking here, so we're gonna cut up here. We're gonna cut here. And we're gonna use this cutting tool. This is 1/2 inch copper pipe. This is a 1/2 inch pipe cutter, okay? It says right here, 1/2 inch. This is the cutting edge, this disc here, okay? When you snap this on, it perfectly fits a 1/2 inch pipe. What you do is you twist it, okay? And these arrows show you the direction in which you twist. You twist it this way, right? So think of this like Pac-Man. You know the game Pac-Man, waka, waka, waka. Think his top lip, he's got an overbite. His top jaw comes down first. So the top jaw first, okay? So we're gonna stick it on the pipe like this, and we're gonna turn it like this until the pipe severs. Now, you wanna keep this as level as possible because we're gonna put a snap to fit attachment on it, right? And when we do that, we want to have it to, we want to have it be a nice, smooth, level cut, okay? All right, so that's what we're going to do now. Now, I don't know if I can hold my iPhone and do this at the same time and make an effective cut. So I might have to cut out. But what we're going to do is we're going to snap this on here. See how it's on there now? Now all I have to do is twist. Okay, and I might need both hands for this. Because you want to make a nice, and you'll feel it. I mean, you'll feel it cut. All right, I'm gonna get both hands in here, so I'm gonna have to pause the video. All right, so we've already given it a few turns, and you can see here where the cut is being made. See that? So we want to stay in that groove. We're gonna make sure our cutting tool right here, that round disc, stays in this groove. We don't want to go up or down. We want this to be a nice, level, clean cut. So we're gonna continue to turn ever so gently on that curve and not go up or down. Okay, that's the idea. So whenever possible, use gloves, because I'm scraping my knuckles back here, right? On the drywall and the inside of this wall, and that's distracting me. Now sometimes you do need to be able to feel where you are in a job, and I feel like this is ready to give. I feel like this is just about ready to give. Cut this, so we're gonna want to hold on to our tool. I'm just gonna fall down inside the wall. Definitely don't want that. So as it gets towards the point of separation, it may want to, the cutting tool might want to move out of that groove, and you don't want that, right? So try to keep level. I'm also trying to keep this camera here. Let's see here. Oh, that's good. See that cut? We're almost there. We are nearly through. So now I'm gonna put down the camera and I'm gonna finish cutting. All right, I just heard a faint hiss. So you might hear a faint hiss come out of the pipe. That's remaining pressure, air pressure coming out of the pipe. And actually, that means we've penetrated, we've actually scored the pipe. I don't see any water yet. Okay, so this is the fun part. Right here. Make sure you're still in that groove. We are. It should take maybe one more turn and we should be through. And it will give sometimes very suddenly. So you want to make sure you got a good firm grip on the tool inside the wall and gloves on so you don't get cut by the copper pipe. So it will have a sharp edge. There it is. All right, so that just gave. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there for a second so I can show you. See, the pipe is separated. See, it's a nice level cut. Now, all I have to do is remove my cutting tool. So to do that, I will rotate it so that the fat part's towards me and pull. Pac-Man did its job. The pipe is now separated in two separate pieces. This is the leaky part. This is the part we're gonna keep. We're gonna put the snap-on tool, the snap-on shark bite snap to fit fitting on there. So we're gonna move this out of the way right now, over to the side. And we're gonna clean this up. Okay, we got our pipe cut, and you can see a little drip of water came out of it. Now we have this tool, and this is a tool specifically made for like shark bite or push to fit fittings. It has different size holes for different pipes. This is the 1/2-inch pipe. You can see that's the one I use the most. And this will fit directly over top of the pipe that we cut in the wall, okay? Now this serves two purposes. One, it helps us to measure the depth, okay, of where, like, so when we put the shark bite fitting on, what we'll do here is we'll make a line with our permanent marker right here on the pipe, pushing this firmly up against it. And that way when we push to fit the shark bite fitting on, we'll know that it's on tightly because it will go up to the line that we've drawn here. Also, it has a little anti-burr tool. You can see there's a little cutting edge in the bottom there where you can take off and shave off any burrs that are on the edge of the pipe. Now I'm using my glove to feel, and this feels like a really clean cut, but don't use your finger. You'll cut, you probably will cut yourself, because that will be sharp. So normally if you're, if you have room, you would just rotate this around the pipe. I don't. So what you can do is you could use steel wool, and you could try to shine that up and make sure there are no burrs on the end of that pipe. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to clean this up a little bit with some steel wool. All right, so you can see, I can see that this pipe looks really clean, but here's a SOS pad, steel wool, right? And we're just gonna like kind of rub that on the edge of the pipe and take off any burrs that might be on the edge of the pipe. And then we're gonna clean this with a paper towel. Paper towel will help us in a couple ways. One, it'll help us see if there are any burrs because it'll rip the towel. And two, it'll clean off any little bits of steel wool that we don't want that inside of our drinking water pipe. That's not a good thing. All right, so I think we're in good shape here. So let's get a paper towel. Clean that up. You can see the towel didn't really rip. So I think we got a nice clean cut. We were lucky on that one. Very nice. Yeah, I'm feeling it with through my glove, and it's not tearing my glove, so I think that's good. All right, so what should I do first? Should I hit the shark bite on here first? No, I have to well, first I have to measure and mark, but I don't think I can hold the camera while I do that. But you guys get the idea. I'm gonna put this on top of it and I'm gonna draw a line. And I'll be able to hold it from up here while I push the fitting on there. But what I'll probably do is I'll put the other end on the Pex pipe, since that'll be easier than trying to get the Pex pipe in from below. Because the copper pipe is more solid, the Pex pipe is flexible. So I'll put the fitting on the Pex first, and then I'll fit it on here. But we still have to make a cut below in order to detach the pipe down below, and I'll show you how to do that next. First I'm gonna make mark on this. It's not the prettiest mark on a pipe that I've ever made, but that's the mark right there. So we're gonna want the shark bite fitting to fit up to there to know that it's secure. All right, good. All right, now what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna cut the pipe here below this previous repair, because we're gonna add a shark bite fitting to this here and connect this piece of PEX pipe to this piece. This copper pipe is the pipe that we cut from the top. And how do we know that? We can wiggle it here, and we can see it wiggle all the way up to where it's no longer detached. See? That's how we know we're cutting the right pipe, because there's a hot water pipe and a cold water pipe. You don't want to cut the wrong one. All right, so what do I do to use to cut PEX pipe? I use this thing. Okay, this thing is a special tool. It's designed to cut PEX pipe and cut it perpendicularly very well. So it's locked at the bottom. Squeeze it in, that unlocks. And then what happens is this jaw opens up like that. And then it ratchets down. Don't put your finger in there. And it will cut the pipe 1/4 inch it's about a 1/4 inch at a time. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a nice parallel cut so that I can get a nice fitting on the pipe. Okay, I've kind of wedged my tool in here, and I've got it braced pretty well so that I'm going to make a perpendicular cut. But I don't have enough play in the tool to get it to ratchet down, so that's an issue. Let's see what all right, great. So we made our cut, and we needed to get a little play in order to make this thing move properly, ratchet down. But that looks pretty good to me. All right, we're gonna clean that up, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our measuring tool again. We're gonna measure and mark. Okay, you wanna put this on top, and you wanna mark where it sits. Right there. What that's gonna do is that's gonna show us how deep the shark bite fitting goes when we put the shark bite fitting on. So that's what we're gonna do next. So last night when I fished the PEX line through the wall, I might have gotten some dirt inside the pipe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed some more pipe through, and I'm gonna make a clean cut about 1 foot up, so I know this is probably clean here, right? So you take your ratcheting cutting tool, right? You want to make a parallel cut. So rest it here, keep your fingers out of the way, right? Ratchet it down until it makes contact, and then it's like 4 clicks pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 3 clicks. All right. Take your measuring tool, your anti-burr tool, give this a little once over. Might take off a piece of plastic. Put this on here like that. Take your permanent marker like that. And that's where the depth is for the snap-on. Tool. So we're going to use this valve, right? So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put this one on first. So I'm going to take this off. And what I think I want to do is I want it to go like this, so that when it's in the wall, I can turn off the valve if I want to, right? So this will be the top. So you just push to fit. See? That's it. Then we do the same thing inside the wall. Right here. That's it. That's got it. All right, so now, let me see the camera for a second. You can see here
there's the line. That's where the fitting is. That's the line on the bottom one. There's the line on the top one. That's where the fitting is. So that's perfect. And then we'll leave an access panel here if we ever need to turn off the water to the top part. We can do that here so that there's no water in the top apartment, but there's still water in the basement. So that's step one. Now, step two, cutting this to the proper length and then attaching it to the pipe inside the wall. So, all right, next step. Cut this to the proper length so that we can get a shark bite fitting on here. Get this guy to go on there, this guy to go on there. And there is some play in the pipe, so we can see that. So that's good. There's not a ton. And you don't want a big loop of pipe behind the wall. I mean, obviously, there's not even enough room to do that if we wanted to. But you're gonna want it to be a little bit of play in the pipe. So I'm thinking, cut it. Let's start here. Let's go like right. We'll go like right here. We'll cut the pipe right here. So I'm gonna use our cutter. Okay. I'm gonna make a parallel cut, and I really need to make a good cut. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually hold this right here. So it's like 1, 2, 3. Thanks. You can see there's little dimples in there where the cut was made. So we're gonna go ahead and use our little shaving tool on here and see if we can shave anything off the edge that might have been an imperfection on the cut. No, that looks pretty good. And we're also going to put that cap on, measure, and mark. So that's on there, then we mark. Mark. So that's our mark. And we'll go our way around. Now the only thing is, I don't want to twist this either because I got the valve down there, the first one, and I want that valve to face out, so I don't want to really twist this pipe too much trying to get it on. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shark bite on here first, and then I'm going to do it on one of the wall. I think that'll be easiest. I may be wrong, but that's my plan. So you can see the mark we're going for here, right?
I can't.
You can't? You can't see that that line right there? That black line? Well, maybe your vision's not good enough to see it, but that's where it is. So this will be the easy part. We just stick this on there like that until it gets to the line. Now, come around this way. See if you can see in this wall here? Let me have it. So now's the fun part where I try to put this onto that. So I don't know how much of that's going to come out on video, but you can video me trying to wrestle with it and see what happens. So I can reach the pipe from above, which is nice. Maybe grab that, and then this guy. Push up. 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 It's getting there. Maybe right-handed. Definitely right-handed. So close. Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, I think. That's perfect. See? Right there. It's perfect because I wouldn't have been able to get that pen mark any closer than that. So that's done. And this one on the bottoms looks good. And we'll go down here and check, make sure we didn't twist our valve out. No, our valve is still reachable.
so we can still turn things off if we need to. Okay, good. Now we get to turn on the water. All right, we're down in the basement. We're gonna turn the water on and listen for screams. If Mom screams up there, that means there's water coming out of the... Well, we gotta go over here and shut the water off. We got the water on over here. So we're gonna do that. Now we're gonna go upstairs and check our fittings and see if there's any leaks. All right, we know the water's on. Let's turn that off. I'm not hearing any yelling, so that's a good sign. Join you upstairs. All right, I didn't hear any yelling. I didn't hear any yelling.
Nope,
Is anything leaking?
not that I could see. No, you look and see.
Yeah, let me look. All right, so that's okay. So we would see down here, it would be some wetness. No? Okay, so we're gonna turn this valve on. That's a good sign. I didn't hear any psst. This is totally dry. This is totally dry. Sure, if you want. You can do the paper towel test. This one up here, completely connected, no water. All right, I think we're in good shape. I think we just did our repair. No dampness, nothing. I feel the pipe's a little cold. All right. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. Well, no, because it'll leak down into the basement if we got any leaks. So the pipe that was in the wall is still in the wall, and it's just going to stay in the wall.
You want to just do a scan all the way down?
Yeah, I'll do a scan all the way down. So, still copper pipe up top, right? This is where the fitting is. This is where that's where the leak originally was. This was an exploratory hole. Once we went up too high, we're taking a guess down here. And then this was the previous repair. And that's it. And it took about 2 hours, not even 2 hours start to finish this morning, once I went to, including the Home Depot run. And then last night, what did it take, about an hour? We were messing around with this, maybe an hour and a half. So, you know, I only spent on that one fitting less than 10 bucks. All the other stuff I already had. If you were starting from scratch, you had to buy all these tools, $150, $200 maybe. Still cheaper than having a plumber do it. But hey, if you don't know how to do it, have a plumber do it. And, you know, I'm not a plumber. I'm just a DIY guy with an old house. Have a great day. See you on the next one.